engage in chemical reaction, ang non-competitive inhibitor na dili siya mo bind with the binding site of the enzyme. Dili siya dito mo bind sa where the substrate binds. Naagihapoy binding sa substrate and the enzyme at its binding site. However, pag-bind diri karon sa non-competitive inhibitor, ning slow down na affected ang activity sa enzyme. So, ning slow down iyang activity, ang product formation. That is non-competitive inhibitor or inhibition. Okay? Okay, let's have later some example later. Now, another we have, when we say enzyme activity, this is the measure of how much our reaction rate is increased. Unsa ka-active an enzyme? And what are those factors that activates the enzyme? So there are some factors. Or say we have this. How the rate of enzyme catalyzed reaction is affected. So these are different factors that affect the activity of the enzyme. Okay, let's see how it affects. Say enzyme concentration or substrate concentration, temperature, pH later. Okay, say for example, we have here the enzyme concentration. Say this is the rate of chemical reaction. Say for example from 1 up. Okay? So kani siya 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Say for example, rate of chemical reaction. Then kani pod enzyme concentration. Say for example, pila ang concentration niya. Say from 10%, 20%, 50%, 90%, 100%. Sa pure ang concentration sa enzyme. Now, try to look at it. When you, say for example, increase the concentration of the enzyme, what happened to the rate of chemical reaction? Increasing, decreasing? Increasing. Say for example, kani 30% concentration. Now, take note, kani siya, constant na ang temperature ng pH. No? Substrate concentration, constant po. Except for enzyme concentration. Now, how does it affect the rate of chemical reaction kaning enzyme concentration? When you increase the enzyme concentration, you are also what? Increasing the rate of chemical reaction. So, in other words, this is what? Direct. This is, how do you describe it? So, when the enzyme concentration is increasing, the rate of chemical reaction is also increasing. Okay? So, directly proportional. Okay? Directly proportional yung relationship. The enzyme concentration with the rate of chemical reaction. Directly proportional. When you increase the rate of enzyme, you're also increasing the rate of chemical reaction. Okay? Say, halimbawa, gusto kang muna, halimbawa, in the case of magkuskus ka o sa CR ba? For example, magkuskus ka, manglisyo ka sa CR. Sa mga stains. Say, butangan mo og water. Dili kaayo siya makuha, di ba? Clorox. Now, you do away with water. Kaya you are increasing also the rate of chemical reaction. So, dapat concentrated. So, it's just an example. So, you can understand how it affects. Okay? So, you are increasing the rate of chemical reaction when you increase the enzyme concentration. Of course, the enzyme there is not the Clorox. So, you have there the substrate. Okay. So, just an example anyway. So, if you want to increase the rate of chemical reaction, enzyme concentration must, or enzyme concentration increases the rate of chemical reaction. Okay. Now, how about substrate concentration? How does it affect? Is it directly proportional? Is it directly proportional? Okay. So for example, this is the substrate. Remember, substrate is the one that binds to the active site of the enzyme. Are you with me? Now, when you increase the substrate concentration, say 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, then 60. So you are still, what happened to the rate of chemical reaction?
Slows down.
Say at this point,
Increase per increase.
may increase. But later on, what happened? Na siya'y plateau. In other words, even say, there is a specific concentration of the substrate. So we call that optimum substrate concentration required for the increased rate of chemical reaction. However, when you increase more the rate of chemical reaction, even though you keep adding more of the substrate concentration, diha ra gyud tama na yan ang chemical reaction. Dili na siya. Unlike sa enzyme concentration nga, pag gusto pa gini mo patasan, dugangan pa yun. Sige, paspas, gusto to eh. But here, not like plateau. No? There is a time that even though you keep adding more of the substrate concentration, you cannot increase anymore the rate of chemical